Leon S. Kennedy has spent practically his entire adult life walking into situations that should have killed him. So when we first met Leon during the Raccoon City incidents, he was only 21 years old, even arriving late for his first day as an officer with the Raccoon City Police Department. He had no experience fighting bioweapons and no real understanding of what he was walking into. Yet in a single night, Leon survives an entire city filled with zombies and mutated monsters. Then we reach Resident Evil 4, where Leon goes from being an impressive survivor to something genuinely ridiculous. Leon enters a remote European village almost completely alone to rescue Ashley Graham. He battles hundreds of enemies, fights invisible Navistadors, and kills El Gigante creatures that can throw him around like a toy. He also defeats Jack Krauser, a trained special operative with enhanced strength, speed, and one of the most dangerous mutated arms in the entire franchise. Leon does not defeat Jack by firing a rocket launcher from a safe distance. He defeats him during a close-range battle involving knives, traps, firearms, and hand-to-hand combat. By Resident Evil 9, he is an older and more hardened agent carrying decades of physical and emotional damage. So this is the Leon we are placing against these creepypasta characters. However, we are not giving him automatic knowledge of every entity's weaknesses. Starting with the most human character here, we have Jeff the Killer. Jeff is very dangerous when he attacks normal people. He stalks vulnerable victims, enters their houses, and uses his appearance to create panic before attacking them with a knife. Now, depending on the version, Jeff has impressive pain tolerance and can continue fighting after sustaining injuries that would stop an average person. But Jeff is still primarily a human serial killer with a kitchen knife. Even the youngest version of Leon has already survived enemies way more dangerous than Jeff. Jeff might be capable of sneaking into Leon's room, but getting close to Leon is not the same as defeating him. Leon has reacted to surprise attacks from ganados, mutated dogs, and enemies hiding above him. Jeff would have to approach someone whose reflexes have been sharpened through years of constant ambushes. And if this becomes a close quarters fight, it is not even remotely competitive whatsoever. Even if Jeff's pain tolerance allowed him to stand back up, it would not make him immune to gunshots. Jeff only survives by avoiding Leon completely. In a direct encounter, Leon wins with almost no difficulty whatsoever. Now, Herobrine is difficult to judge because there is no single definitive version of him. The original Herobrine legend describes a mysterious figure resembling Steve from Minecraft, with completely white eyes. He watches the player from a distance and disappears whenever the player approaches. That original version is more of an unsettling presence than a confirmed fighter. If Leon is transported into Minecraft, just like the characters were transported into the Minecraft movie, and Herobrine has only those original abilities, Leon could easily survive the encounter. He would notice the patterns and refuse to blindly follow Herobrine into an obvious trap. However, later fan interpretations turn Herobrine into an almost godlike ruler of Minecraft. He can alter the environment, summon lightning, and manipulate the game itself. And Leon can't really defeat that version. His weapons would be limited by the rules of the world. While Herobrine could reshape the battlefield around him, Leon might be able to fight zombies, skeletons, and even creepers, but he cannot shoot someone who can teleport away and potentially regenerate or respawn. Leon's survivable skills would keep him alive for an impressive amount of time. He would build defenses and learn Minecraft's mechanics extremely quickly, just like he learned to survive in Raccoon City. But against the powerful supernatural interpretation of Herobrine, Leon eventually loses. It's kind of like PvPing someone in Game Mode 1 and you're in survival. It's kind of just like damn near impossible. Jack is generally portrayed as a supernatural or demonic humanoid who enters people's homes, attacks them while they are vulnerable, and removes their organs. He possesses superior strength, stealth, and senses, allowing him to enter a room without being detected and disappear before anyone can properly respond. That could allow Jack to injure Leon. If Leon does not know Jack is coming, Jack might enter through a window or a ventilation system and attack while Leon is sleeping. But unlike Jeff, Jack could potentially survive Leon's first counterattack and continue fighting. However, Leon has encountered much better ambush predators, such as the Navistadors, who can camouflage themselves. They can even fly and attack from unexpected directions, or the Regenerators, who can absorb tremendous amounts of damage and continue moving until Leon discovers the parasites controlling their bodies. Now, Leon has learned not to assume that shooting a creature once means the fight is over. The moment Eyeless Jack attacks, Leon would create distance and begin testing what hurts him. Handgun ammunition position might not immediately put Jack down, but Leon has access to shotguns, rifles, explosives, and powerful close-range weapons. Jack's biggest weakness is that he needs to physically reach Leon. He has to actually grab him or hold him down long enough to remove an organ. That places him directly within Leon's strongest combat range. Now, Leon defeats Eyeless Jack after a difficult initial encounter. Jack's stealth could draw blood, but once Leon identifies him as a physical creature, Jack becomes another monster that can be destroyed. The Rake would probably create one of the most entertaining fights here. It is really fast and capable of stalking victims without immediately being discovered. It moves on all fours, attacks with its claws, and can cover distance so quickly that an average person would have almost no time to react. Now, the Rake could definitely catch Leon off guard because its movement is pretty unpredictable. Leon might fire several rounds and miss as it moves between walls and dark corridors. It could slash him before retreating and attempting another ambush. The problem is that Leon does not panic after being injured. He studies enemies while fighting them. He can observe how the Rake moves, determine where it prefers to attack, and then force it into a position where it cannot use its speed. He can lure it into a narrow hallway, wait for it to charge, and then hit it with a shotgun at close range. The Rake is also not consistently portrayed with the regeneration of a Regenerador, or the durability of a Tyrant. If Leon can destroy creatures capable of surviving explosions and massive physical trauma, he has enough power to kill the Rake. The Rake would 100% make him work for it, but Leon eventually wins. The Smile Dog is usually connected to the image known as Smile.jpg. After viewing it, victims experience nightmares, hallucinations, and demand to spread the image. The victim is psychologically tortured until they obey, lose their mind, or just simply die. There might be a dog-like figure appearing in the victim's dreams, but there is not necessarily a physical animal standing in front of Leon that he can shoot. Mentally, Leon could resist Smile Dog better than almost anyone, because by RE9, Leon has spent decades carrying trauma without completely losing his ability to function. Leon would then begin to experience the nightmares, understand that the image is affecting him, and begin investigating its origin. He might destroy the computer, isolate the device, or attempt to prevent anyone else from seeing the file. But that does not mean he has defeated the entity. Smile Dog can exist through copied images. Destroying one laptop does not remove every version from the internet, and Leon has no clear way of entering the dream world or shooting the curse itself. Leon could refuse to spread it and endure the psychological attacks longer than any ordinary victim. He might even contain his specific copy. However, unless destroying the original file permanently ends the curse, Leon cannot fully eliminate the Smile Dog. He survives longer than most, but he can't reliably defeat it. Ben Drowned initially appears through a haunted copy of The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, manipulating the game, changing files, and communicating directly with the person playing it. The story eventually expands the threat beyond a single cartridge, allowing Ben to influence computers and spread through the internet. Leon would immediately recognize that something is wrong, but he would probably misidentify it at first. Resident Evil has conditioned Leon to search for a physical explanation, because in his world, that's really all he goes up against. He might assume that the game contains hidden communication from a bioterrorist organization, or that someone is manipulating the computer remotely. Once the game begins responding to information that it should not possess, Leon would then realize that he is dealing with something outside his normal experience. His first move would probably be destroying the cartridge and the computer. Now, against an entity trapped entirely inside one object, that could possibly work. But the problem is that Ben's influence does not necessarily remain inside the cartridge. Once Ben spreads to another system, Leon has nobody to target. He could disconnect every device around him, avoid interacting with the game, and contact government cybersecurity specialists. That might contain the problem temporarily, but Leon personally cannot shoot an entity living across digital networks. Ben could also manipulate what Leon sees and hears through electronic devices. It might lure him into a false location, impersonate someone asking for help, or use information about Raccoon City to attack him psychologically. Now, Leon would obviously be hard to manipulate because he is naturally suspicious and has survived betrayals through his career, but still, experience fighting bioweapons does not give him control over supernatural software. Leon can destroy Ben's original cartridge, but if Ben has already escaped onto the internet, Leon basically loses the larger battle here. Laughing Jack usually begins as an imaginary friend before becoming a twisted, monstrous clown that targets children. He can manipulate his appearance, appear and disappear unexpectedly. Now, by this point in life, Leon has watched normal-looking humans transform into humongous monsters. If someone appears in a room without using a door, Leon is pulling his weapon out immediately. And in a purely physical fight, Leon has a good chance here. Laughing Jack uses claws and bladed weapons, but Leon has survived close-range battles with stronger creatures. The real problem is also again determining whether Laughing Jack can actually be killed through physical damage. If bullets and explosives can destroy his manifested body, Leon eventually wins. But if Laughing Jack is an immaterial entity that can simply disappear, recreate its body, and then continue haunting his chosen victim, then Leon cannot permanently stop him through normal weapons. Leon would likely protect Laughing Jack's intended victim and force the entity to retreat, and he might even try to destroy one physical manifestation. However, permanently defeating Jack depends entirely on whether Jack's supernatural form can be killed. Leon wins the immediate confrontation, but I do not think he can guarantee that Laughing Jack stays dead permanently forever. Like Ben Drowned, Sonic.EXE begins through a game, but many versions portray him as much more than a simple haunted file. He traps characters, manipulates the game world, and treats his victims as objects inside a reality he controls. If Sonic.EXE is limited to one physical disc or file and has no influence outside of it, Leon technically wins by refusing to play and destroying the device. But that is not usually how these stories work. Once Leon is pulled into Sonic's world, his normal combat abilities become nearly irrelevant. Sonic controls the environment completely and moves at speed Leon cannot consistently track. Now, Leon does have incredible reaction time, but reacting to a demonic version of Sonic is honestly completely damn near impossible as a normal human being. We're talking about Sonic here. Even if Leon lands a shot, there is no guarantee Sonic possesses a normal physical body. He may simply manipulate the game, restore himself, or force Leon into another area. Unless Leon can remain outside the game and destroy Sonic.EXE before being pulled inside, Sonic would lose. But inside Sonic.EXE's world, Leon is no longer the protagonist of an action game. He is basically another character trapped inside someone else's nightmare. Finally, we have Slenderman. Now, Slenderman is probably the best overall test for Leon because he combines psychological attacks, physical power, and an almost complete lack of a clear weakness. He is usually portrayed as an unnaturally tall humanoid wearing a black suit, with no visible facial features. He stalks people from a distance, appears in almost impossible locations, and causes victims to experience memory loss, hallucinations, and electronic interference. Some versions also give him tentacle-like appendages and the ability to physically capture or kill his victims. Now, Leon is observant enough to notice the same figure appearing in multiple locations. He would recognize the electronical interference, understand that the creature is somehow affecting his equipment, and avoid wandering aimlessly through the forest. Leon would also not freeze when Slenderman finally appeared. He would shoot immediately, reposition, and search for a physical reaction. However, Slenderman is not like a tyrant. Mr. X can follow Leon through the police station, but he still has to walk through doors and hallways. Slenderman can just appear behind Leon without crossing the space between them, and Leon's aim does not really matter as much when his opponent can disappear before the bullet reaches him. The psychological effects would also become stronger over time. Now, Leon has tremendous mental endurance, but Slenderman does not need to completely break him in the first few minutes. He can continue following Leon, interrupt his sleep, and slowly weaken his ability to distinguish reality from hallucination. Like, there is no reliable biological target for Leon to destroy. Slenderman can teleport and continue returning after victims believe they have escaped him. Leon's entire career has taught him how to defeat monsters, but those monsters usually possess organs or mutations that can eventually be destroyed. And Leon might even rescue someone else from him, but without discovering a specific supernatural weakness, Leon cannot permanently kill Slenderman.